We started this experiment 6 o'clock p.m. on Sunday. It is now Thursday at around 2:19. I'm going to show you how to end this experiment and how to collect your profits from that derivative that you purchased on Coinbase. I'm going to show you what the details are right here, right now on the Ujamaa network. So, right from home, let's just go ahead and get to our trade, and that was our oil and on March, right? So you're looking at this, the price of oil is now $81. I had set a stop loss take profit order if it hits 87%, or excuse me, $87. The original position details are right here. You see what I purchased it for? You see what I'm selling it for? The purchase price of $73 has been overshadowed by the unrealized returns, meaning that I made 100% of my money back. And just easily, quickly, I'm just going to close this position. Closing will place a market order. Unfilled orders on this market will be canceled. Confirm the close. And that's that. Some final thoughts on this experiment. It's all about perspective. Now, a person who makes thousands of dollars in a trading day will not have the same perspective on what we just experimented with as a person who works a $20 to $30 an hour job. If you were able to take half of a paycheck or a third of a paycheck and do the same thing I did on Sunday, where would you be now? Think about it in terms of the fact that most Americans will not have an auto repair bill amount in their savings account if an emergency happened. Say you had $500 to live off of for that next 2 weeks for that pay period, and you were just dead broke. Something like this happens, and that $500 became 1,000. And then when you had that $500 car repair bill, you could cover it and still survive. Now, obviously, this is not a cure all for everything that's going on, but it's just another tool you can use to not so much build generational wealth, but that's the goal, but to survive daily. And we should not have to, as Americans, rely on market fluctuations just to survive. But again, this is a tool to help you get by on those kind of situations. I always relate this back to how hard it was just to get a little something as a teenager growing up in the 80s. I just don't know what to say. Just knowing what I know about how people crashed out over this amount of money or less, it just puts everything into a different perspective for me. A perspective that says you can take control of what you got going on if you just had knowledge. And unfortunately, this kind of knowledge only comes if somebody shows you, for many people. And even if you show people, like I have people in my family, people I care about, people I've known their entire lives, they'll look at it. We all know about it, but really won't mess with it because there are stigmas attached to anything with Wall Street in the community. They'll much sooner play a lottery or get out in these streets before they educate themselves on doing something that we just did, and it didn't take any time or not much money at all. But again, the technology just wasn't available coming up, so they don't have anything to pattern against. Now they do. I hope this was as informal, or you know, this informal way of communicating this information was helpful. Um, yeah, the problem that I have with trying to get this information out is that a lot of people just don't think much of it. You have to start making these inroads somewhere, and I think this is the best place for me to do it. The goal now becomes identifying these kinds of opportunities in the market more consistently. This was just one experiment, and this was just with $70. What if I had $700 and I had 7 experiments running at the same time? Now we're talking about a car that you could have purchased. You be the deciding factor in that and how you move accordingly, but do so with proper education and mentorship, and always contact a financial advisor before you make them kind of moves. I'll talk to you later.